Everyone talks about procrastination like it's some lazy person disease. Like, oh, you're just not motivated, or you need more discipline. That's all surface level junk. The real reason most solo creators don't move fast is fear. But it's sneaky. It doesn't show up like, I'm scared. What am I gonna do? It shows up as, let me tweak this one more time. Let me do one more adjustment. Or I'll start on Monday. Today is not the day. Or let me watch a few more videos before I take action so that I am more prepared, so that I know more. This is not strategy. That's self-sabotage dressed up as planning. It is fear, and the fear is whispering in your ear. It is disguised as logic. With this understanding, every week you delay action. That's a product not launched. That's clients not helped. That's progress that never happened. Fear isn't just an emotion, it's a tax. And most people have been paying it for years without even realizing it. And it's not just one type of fear. It is fear of judgment, fear of failing, fear of succeeding, fear of starting, fear of finishing, fear of some other thing or comparison, let's say, fear of competition, fear of effort, perfectionism. These are all fear disguised as logic. And fear is expensive, as I said. Every week you do not do the thing you need to do. Everything you delay launching, selling, creating, you're leaking money, momentum, and clarity. Sometimes it feels like I'm just not ready yet. Or I'll launch when the site is perfect. Or let me learn a little more first. It feels okay, right? It is called perfectionism, and it is a freaking lie. In reality, that's fear, hiding, whispering, pretending to be logic. Fear whispers, be smart, but it means stay small. Don't act. What if you get hurt? What if you fail? I've seen this over and over again. People think they are preparing, but they're just avoiding the leap. You can read 100 more books, but none of them will do the work themselves. None of them will remove the fear. Because fear doesn't leave you before you act, and it leaves when you act. It's ironic, I know. Every delay has a price, but every action, even though it takes effort, is a price. Let's make a scenario. If you charge 2K per client and you have average 1 client per month, and fear delays you by 2 months, that's at least 4K lost. And the more you delay, more it compounds, because every delay puts your success of that big success further. With that, you lose the time you can build the leverage and scale. While you are perfecting your course, somebody else with half the skill already launched and is learning from real feedback. That's harsh. You're not falling behind because of skill. That man, that person is in front of you because they take action. And you're falling behind because of silence and inaction. Waiting feels safe, but it's secretly very expensive. I'm gonna tell this a lot. Have been telling this a lot. You just don't get the invoice right away. Here's how the fear traps you. You hesitate, you don't act, and nothing changes. You feel stuck. Confidence drops. Next decision is even more hesitation. The loop feeds itself. It's a never-ending, self-fulfilling negative feedback cycle. It is a long name, but it is called never-ending because it never ends on its own if you don't act. You can break the cycle though by taking action, but every time you don't take action, fear becomes the default response. And the more you wait, the heavier the next step feels. Before you know it, even writing an email, a small little email or small message or small post, half of it. Let's say this length of post feels so hard, and frankly, it's right. It is so hard. Sorry for launching onto the microphone, but I am pumped about this idea. I am pumped about this understanding that you would have if you know what I know. But the longer you stay in that loop without knowing, the harder it is to escape. But before we go on a hopeless route with this all negative, let me tell you something that I always say. You don't need to conquer fear. You don't need to eliminate it completely. That's the wrong goal. You just need to act while afraid. That is the definition of brave. Fear doesn't vanish with confidence, it fades with evidence. You take the step, your brain sees that, hey, I didn't die. Something clicks. Suddenly, it is not a bit much of difference, but just a bit easier. The task is a little bit easier. Doing that is a little bit easier. What is going on? You just broke the cycle. It is not permanent, and definitely not the final blow. You have to keep hammering that cycle, but you made it bleed. Repeat that enough time, and suddenly action feels safe, easy, and mostly desired. That's the game. The bravest people you know have fears. They just don't let it steer. They just don't let that control them. So let's give you an action plan. Step 1. Name what you're afraid to do. And be honest. Launching, pitching, reaching out, posting, offer, creation, whatever. Shrink it to the smallest possible step. What is the smallest next move? Not the whole launch, just the first message, just the first post, or the first email draft. And do it, even if it sucks. Because when you move, even poorly, even with a small step, you break the loop. You prove that you're not frozen. You prove that action is safe. And with every rep, your identity shifts from hesitant to executing, from procrastinator to action taker. You don't beat fear by waiting for courage, because you beat it by proving yourself that I do hard things anyway. This is how we replace fear with fuel. Fear isn't your enemy. In fact, it's a signal. It's pointing directly at the thing that matters the most. The thing you are most afraid of is probably the thing that'll change everything. So, stop waiting to be fearless and start becoming the kind of person who acts anyway. That's how you break the loop. That's how you reclaim your momentum. And if you need help building the structure to make this consistent, join this community. Oh, sorry, I just realized that I am blurred. Anyway, join this community. I am posting this right now, and I've been posting a lot of the different things and a lot of information about how to beat procrastination, how to have the right mindset on the early stages of business, solopreneurship, entrepreneurship, and coaching. And just know this: fear is costing you thousands, and you don't have to keep paying. The choice is yours. And if this hits you, remember to join the community.